An investigation has been launched after over 54 shots were fired at an Israeli embassy in Athens. No injuries have been reported in the attack. Witnesses say 4 people fired shots at the building while driving past on 2 motorcycles. This act of violence comes only a year after a German ambassador's home was attacked by gunfire. A terrorist group that calls themselves the Popular Fighters took responsibility for that attack. Currently, no one has come forward and claimed to be behind the embassy shooting. Police have blocked off the area and are on the lookout for clues leading to the shooters. During a climate change conference in Lima, John Kerry warns that if commitments from all countries to lower emissions aren't made, your Earth is headed for a dark future. An agreement on climate change between all 195 countries in attendance will be finalized in 2015. Many doubt that the agreement will work, since clashes over emission regulations have slowed the process. Just recently, some of the hottest temperatures on Earth ever have been recorded. Chaos and panic erupt in the Nigerian city of Jos. Over 40 people have been killed after 2 bombs exploded by a bus station. The bombs are believed to have a connection with the militant group Boko Haram, which took responsibility for bombs that killed 118 people just last year. These malicious attacks come after candidates were chosen by President Goodluck Jonathan's party to contest the election scheduled for February. Last year, President Jonathan declared a state of emergency over violence in 3 northeastern states. Security is a major concern going into the Nigerian elections next year. Pakistani authorities have made a major step toward the fight against al-Qaeda. The suspected leader of a new branch of al-Qaeda, Shahid Usman, was arrested along with 4 others this week. Usman was in charge of a new group of al-Qaeda that had moved into South Asia. Last year, the same group attempted to hijack a Pakistani Navy ship. Pakistani police confiscated multiple weapons and explosives during their raid. On the run from the U.S., a wanted senior commander of an Islamic terrorist group in Mali is now dead. Ahmed al-Tlemcen was killed after an operation was carried out by French authorities and Malian forces. Tlemcen was a ringleader in the 2011 kidnapping of 2 French nationals and 3 aid workers. According to French authorities, Tlemcen was killed and a dozen other suspected Islamic militants were neutralized. It did not specify their health status. The U.S. had previously offered a $5 million reward for information on Tlemcen's whereabouts. Over $100 million is the plan for new weapon spending in 2015, according to Ukraine's defense minister. The fighting between Ukraine and pro-Russian separatists has caused Ukraine to adjust their 2015 budget. The defense minister calls for more troops and double the current military budget. He believes these changes are needed to protect Ukraine from the violence caused by the Russian-backed separatists. In other news coming from Ukraine, the Chocolate King is having a hard time with his presidential promise. Ukraine President Petro Poroshenko is the owner of a large sweet business. During his campaign run, Poroshenko said he would give up his business for the sake of running the country. Over a year later, the president is finally working towards his promise. Poroshenko has hired 2 companies to help sell his assets. His largest asset is a majority stake in Ukraine's biggest sweets producer, Roshan Confectionery Corporation. If the bids are too low for the president's assets, many citizens wonder if he will keep his word. Russia is showing off its power once again, this time near Poland airspace. Poland officials claim Russian military aircraft has been showing unusual activity this week. The aircraft activity was mostly in international airspace and water, along with proximity to Sweden. Just this week, the Norwegian military said they had a near miss with a Russian fighter jet. On Monday, over 30 Russian military aircraft were around the Baltic area, and NATO was sent to intercept. Poland's defense minister said Russia was most likely testing its NATO defense. He says this type of military behavior does not serve to build good relationships and trust.